you're about to enjoy a fall getaway or you're just traveling around town, there are important things to remember to prevent a crash. And if the worst does happen, what happens next? How do you find the right law firm to represent you? Josh Wright is managing partner at Hollis Wright & Clay. Josh, thank you so much for coming back to see us.
Happy to be back. Thank you so much for having us on. And I don't know about you, but that weather that I just saw, unbelievable. Ready to roll.
Like I said, chef's kiss.
Ready to go.
A perfect fall weekend. A lot of us are hitting the road. We don't want to think about something going wrong. But if it does, why is it important to have a law firm that you trust?
You know, it's a great question. And here's the thing, Catherine. We see there's a lot of legal advertising, right? I know we all kind of get tired of it. I get tired of it too. There's some ads that I wish were not on the air out there. And it's a very crowded space. It's really a very confused space. And not just that, but it creates some false expectations. But here's one thing you do need to know, and that is if you've been involved in an accident, you want to get to someone. We tell people all the time, you don't have to hire us. We're not saying we're the only law firm out there. There are a lot of great law firms out there, but you need to get to someone quickly so that someone has the ability to protect your interests, to communicate with the insurance company before maybe you give a statement to the insurance company, to preserve evidence, those types of things. So finding the right law firm, I think, is critically important if you've been involved in an accident.
And how do you find the right law firm? As you said, it's a crowded space. It can be a little bit confusing to find the right people to help advocate for you. So how do you do that?
Yeah, I think there are a couple things that you should look for. You know, one of the things that we try and argue, Catherine, that separates our firm from other firms is we do have a 20-plus year track record of known success in Alabama, being the local lawyers here in Birmingham that handle cases. And I think sometimes results do speak for themselves. In addition to that, I think, you know, just finding a firm that has assembled a really good team of litigators, what that does is it doesn't guarantee that every case that you have is going to be tried in a court. But when you have a law firm that wants and craves and desires to go try cases, what happens is the insurance companies know that, and they know that if they don't pay the right amount in the case, a fair and reasonable amount for that case, they're going to have to go try that case. So you want to find those firms, but there are certainly certain things, if I was going to be looking for a law firm, that I would ask as I'm starting to court to that law firm. A couple of those questions are, number one, to ask the person, not the person you see advertising on television, not the person that's the spokesperson of the law firm, but the person handling your case. Do you personally handle and try cases on a daily basis? You personally. Do you personally have a track record of close to 100% in handling and managing those cases? And give me an example of 4 or 5 cases over the last several years where you personally have had success. And those are some questions that I think you want to ask if you want to separate the real litigators and those that are going to be able to manage your case and maximize your result from those that may be more case manager based law firms.
Good to know. And what's a sign that your law firm isn't quite cutting it and it's maybe time to look for somebody else?
Yeah, you know, I think there are a lot of things that you can look at to determine whether or not your firm that you have is really managing your case correctly. Number one, you should expect that when you want to communicate with your lawyer, not just a paralegal, a case manager, an investigator at the firm, or a secretary, you ought to be able to talk with your lawyer. We tell people all the time, if you can't communicate with your lawyer, whether it's via text, through an email, or through a direct conversation, or to go meet with them, that's a problem. And you need to make sure that you put yourself in a situation where you have a law firm that has a bedside manner that matters, where they actually are going to communicate with you, where they make it appear as if you are in charge of the lawsuit as opposed to their schedule is in charge of the law firm. So, or in charge of the case. And so, you know, bedside manner matters, so you want to definitely look for that. Another thing you need to look for that people don't probably look for enough is Google ratings. Google ratings matter. The number of people that are getting cases and getting the lawyers through advertising today has changed drastically from where it was 5 years ago. Look for Google ratings. I think that's an important component to separate law firms.
Certainly. Josh, thank you so much for your insight this morning. We certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us on, as always.
Certainly. All right.